Hello, sixth graders. It's me, Mrs. James. I'm here to read another story to you. This is a picture book, and it is one of my favorite picture books ever. I first read this book when I was babysitting, before I was married, before I had children, and I just really loved it. I read it to the kids I was watching, and I loved the message. I loved the story about this little boy named Ping. And I hope that you enjoy it. I hope that you can learn something from it too. It's called The Empty Pot. And we are not only going to use this story to think about the lesson, the moral, the theme of the story, but we are also going to use this story to think about plot. Remember, all stories have a what? You can whisper it. All stories have a plot. So there are five parts to a plot. We've got the exposition where we learn about the characters. We have the rising action when we see different events that are leading up to the turning point in the story. Then we have the climax, which is the turning point in the story. We have the falling action where we begin to see things getting resolved. We're figuring things out, how the story is about to end. And then we have the story actually ending. So let's use this story to read, to enjoy, but also to focus in on plot. So I'm going to read it to you. Oh, okay. Oh, there we go. All right. A long time ago in China, there was a boy named Ping who loved flowers. Anything he planted burst into bloom. Up came flowers, bushes, and even big fruit trees as if by magic. Everyone in the kingdom loved flowers too. Notice I kind of flip-flopped this, but it's okay. We got it. Everyone in the kingdom, I hope this is right through the rest of it. Whatever. Everyone in the kingdom loved flowers too. They planted them everywhere, and the air smelled like perfume. Okay, so I think I just made a mistake on that one. Sorry, kids. Let's go over to this side. The emperor loved birds and animals, but flowers most of all, and he tended his own garden every day. But the emperor was very old. He needed to choose a successor to the throne. Who would his successor be, and how would the emperor choose? Because the emperor loved flowers so much, he decided to let the flowers choose. The next day, a proclamation was issued. All the children in the land were to come to the palace. There, they would be given special flower seeds by the emperor. Whoever can show me the best in a year's time, he said, will succeed me to the throne. Now, succeed and successor, that means the person who will take over after you're gone. So if I said, Celeste, you are going to be Mrs. James' successor, that means that when I'm no longer teaching sixth grade, that she would take over and teach sixth grade. Does that make sense? Wonderful. So who's going to see who's going to take over? How many of you think that Ping would love to be the emperor? The emperor is like a king. The emperor has everything in China. So to be the emperor would be greater than being president of the United States. It would be greater than anything that anyone in China probably could ever dream of. The news created an excitement throughout the land. Certainly, children from all over the country swarmed to the palace to get their flower seeds. All the parents wanted their children to be chosen emperor, and all the children hoped they would be chosen too. Ping, oh, see, some of these I accidentally messed up. Like 12 is over there. See that? And it's supposed to be 13. So we just gonna pretend like this didn't happen, and we're gonna go to 12, and then we're going back over here to 13. All right, when Ping received his seed from the emperor, he was the happiest child of all. He was sure he could grow the most beautiful flower. Ping filled a flower pot with rich soil. He planted the seed in it very carefully. Remember what we know about Ping. He's got such a gift for flowers. Sorry, once again, this is flip-flopped, but whatever, we're going to make it work. He watered it every day. He couldn't wait to see it sprout, grow, and blossom into a beautiful flower. Day after day passed, but nothing grew in his pot. Then he transferred the seed into rich black soil. Ping was very worried. He put new soil into a bigger pot. Another 2 months he waited. Still, nothing happened. By and by, the whole year passed. Spring came, and all the children put on their best clothes to greet the emperor. They rushed to the palace with their beautiful flowers, eagerly hoping to be chosen. Wait. Yeah, let's do this side first. We're on this side. Ping was ashamed of his empty pot. He thought the other children would laugh at him because for once he couldn't get a flower to grow. Okay, now that side. His clever friend ran by, holding a great big plant. Ping, he said, you're not really going to the emperor with an empty pot, are you? Couldn't you grow a great big flower like mine? I've grown lots of flowers, better than yours, Ping said. It's just that this seed that won't grow. Holding the empty pot in his hands, Ping went straight off to the palace. Ping's father overheard this and said, you did your best, and your best is good enough to present to the emperor. How beautiful all the flowers were. But the emperor was frowning and did not say a word. The emperor was looking at the flowers slowly, one by one. Finally, he came to Ping. Ping hung his head in shame, expecting to be punished. The emperor asked him, why did you bring an empty pot? Ping started to cry and replied, I, I, I planted the seed you gave me and I watered it every day, but it didn't sprout. I put it in a better pot with better soil, but still it didn't sprout. I tended it all year long, but nothing grew. So today I had to bring an empty pot without a flower. It was the best I could do. When the emperor heard these words, a smile slowly spread over his face. He put his arm around Ping. Then he exclaimed to one and all, I have found him. I have found the one person worthy of being emperor. Where you got your seeds from, I do not know, for the seeds I gave you all had been cooked, so it was impossible for any of them to grow. I admire Ping's great courage to appear before me with the empty truth. And now I reward him with my entire kingdom and make him emperor of all the land. Wasn't that a great story? Okay, let's go back. Let's talk about plot. We love the story. I did. Let's go back. Sorry, I made some mistakes with having it flipped the wrong way, but hey, we're going to make it through. All right. So Let's talk about exposition. Exposition, if you remember, is when we are introduced to the characters and to the setting. So right away with exposition, if I was writing this down, I would write that the exposition is where we meet Ping and a little description about him. He loves flowers. Very simple. We meet Ping is the main character of the story. He loves flowers. The setting is in China, but it's not just China. It's China and it's the kingdom under this emperor who has who's got flowers everywhere because the emperor loves flowers, right? Okay, so the rising action, for those of you who may or may not know, or you may have already been thinking this, what do you think the rising action is? Let's see. The rising action to me is Ping trying to plant his seeds and it not working. The events leading up to the turning point in the story. Ping plants his seeds. He tends to them diligently. Look at this. Look at him. He's working so hard. He's flowering. I mean, he's watering them. He's checking on it every day. He's tending to it. He's transferring it into a different soil. All of these things are all the things that he's doing and trying to get his seed to grow. This is our rising action because this is leading to our turning point in the story. Okay. Now, our turning point is our climax. And the climax to me is the day that the children come to present their, where are we? Yes, no. Yes, this to me is the climax. This is when everyone comes to present their flowers to the emperor, and Ping has to now tell the emperor that he was not able to get his flower to grow. He's embarrassed, he's heartbroken by it, but he is still telling him what's happened. This is the turning point in the story. This is when we are going to find out how this is all going to turn out. And that is when we have our falling action. And this is when he comes to Ping and Ping is trying to explain everything to him. So I think that the climax would be when all of the children have brought their flowers and now Ping is there with no flower. That's the main story. That's the tense part. The falling action is when Ping begins to explain to the emperor, this is what happened. And we're sort of on the edge of our seats because we don't know what the ending is. We don't know the resolution yet. But the resolution is when the emperor smiles. Oh, I love when he's like, why did you bring me an empty pot? I love my emperor voice. I'm going to start using that voice more often, just in regular life. Like, good morning, Delante. How are you this morning? Or I'm going to be like, oh, Journey, please don't ask me for a pencil today. Or I'm going to be like, Roshana, I will not open your locker for you. Figure it out your own self. I love my emperor voice. Yeah. Abdul Kadir, Colin, please stop skipping class every day. I'm down for it. I'm down for it. What was I going to say about that? Oh, yeah, stay focused, Miss James. You got a little bit too beside yourself. So the resolution is when he smiles and he lets them know that all of your seeds were cooked. Cooked. Y'all are cooked. Your seeds was cooked and y'all are cooked. See, if I was the emperor, I'd have been like, listen, these seeds been cooked, y'all are cooked. All of you, you're cooked. Not only are y'all cooked, your mamas and daddies is cooked too, because you know them are the ones who probably figured out a way to get different seeds. But wow, we have one person in all of the kingdom who chose to be honest. He said, I don't know where you got your seeds from. Oh, what a great way of figuring things out. So the resolution is when Ping demonstrates honesty and courage, showing the emperor that he was the right person. So let me ask you, sixth graders, why was Ping the right person? This is when you start thinking of theme and moral of the story. Your theme and your moral of the story is when you, what lesson that you can learn from that. What lesson can you learn? What can you take away from that? And so, what I would take away, or what I would want you to take away, or my own kids, is that being honest and being courageous can never do you wrong. And many people are not going to be honest. Many people are not going to do the right thing, but Ping did. And I want you guys to be like Ping. All right. I've been yapping long enough. I'm going to stop yapping and I am going to upload this and hopefully I get this done in enough time for it to be on your Google Classroom today. If not, it will be on there tomorrow. Love you all. Bye.